Good afternoon, everybody. We'll just give the others a few more seconds to join.
Hello, Dawn.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Don.
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Dawn. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Yeah, all here.
everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Glad to see you joining again. I hope we're going to have another good session today. I'm going to try and speak slow this time. And I've given you all access to the mics this time so that I can hear you as well. I don't know, for those who joined the last time, the access was blocked, and I thought I was talking to myself at one stage. But great to see you all. Let me just admit everybody who's sitting in the room there. We'll just give another minute for those who need to join, and then I shall start. Let me just get the right slide on here first. I see I got the wrong slide on. Okay, that's the one I want you to see for now. I hope you're all enjoying these little sessions. I must say I enjoy them as well. There's just so much I want to cram into 1 hour, and sometimes it's just not enough time. But I'm going to try and get as much in as I can. After putting this one together as well, I was thinking that perhaps in 2026, what we need to do is actually have a morning workshop rather than just an hour, because we can do so much more in 3 hours in an hour. But I hope that these sessions just give you a taste of how to use the software. Just, I always say I like to sow a seed that you think, oh, didn't know I could do that. Let me go back and try. And that is the main thing with Microsoft, ladies, is you need to go back and you need to try things out. Don't be afraid. Nothing can break. There's always the undo key. The undo, let me give you my picture as well. The undo key is always wonderful because you can't really break it. You can't make a bad mistake because all you need to do is really undo or delete. So there's no harm in trying. But if you see something that you particularly think is good and you can use it, go back to the office, go back to your desk, sit down and try put into practice what you saw here. PowerPoint has endless possibilities. It really does have. And it's not just for PowerPoint, for presentations or maybe for videos. It is for so much more than that. You can do infographics, you can do posters, you can do birthday cards, you can do social media blocks. There are tons of things that you can do if you just know how to use your PowerPoint correctly. So I'm going to start. Welcome to you all. I think we've given enough time for people to join us. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to OPSA, Association for Office Professionals of South Africa. For those of you members, welcome back to my members again. I'm glad to see a lot of you there. Oh, yeah. Renska, see you here. I did see Renska's name somewhere. And thank you to Renska. We're doing PowerPoint first because in the last session, we didn't even touch on PowerPoint. So I thought I'd be kind and just start with PowerPoint this time round. So thank you, Renska. For those of you who aren't members, on my second slide, we have our contact details. OPSA is a professional association. We are registered with SACWA. We also offer 3 SACWA registered professional designations. And I'll just leave our contact details on there for a second. If you want to know more about membership with OPSA, please feel free to contact me. We'd love to have you on board. I can send you some information, the brochures and everything regarding OPSA, and we can start a learning journey together. So thank you to everybody for attending. Now, as I say, I get very excited when I use my software. I sometimes go a little bit quick. If I'm going too quick, please just send me a little note that says, hey, slow down. Go and guarantee I'll read your note, but tell me to slow down. And we can go through them. Some of them might be basic. There might be things that you already know. But if you can just bear with us for those who don't know, so that they can learn as well. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is shapes. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to set up your slide and how to give a beautiful presentation as such, because you know what the rules are for setting up your slides. So is somebody who's got their mic on, if I could just ask you to all just switch your mics off there. I'll just mute it from my side. Okay, so what the aim of what I want to do here is to show you little things of how you can create different icons or different shapes, how you can include videos, and just make your presentation so much nicer and more fun to look at. Gone are the days where when you type up a presentation, you just have all your bullet points down one by one. It's boring, it's not interesting, and people fall asleep. People don't want to read a lot of information, but give them something visual, and they kind of like sit up and look and say, wow, that's nice. And it also helps to remember things as well. Main things with PowerPoints as well is if you're going to do a PowerPoint slide, please set up a template. Now, I know a lot of you, your organization set up templates for you, but also please go and find out how you can set up your own template. If I go to my view, up here you can see there's a master view. There's my slide master, and it will show me all the different slides that I can use there. If you don't, well, you don't really want to use a blank one, blank one's a guideline. You can set up your own slide master. If you click on Inside Slide Master, it'll give you a whole brand new set. You can even give it a name. Let's call this one Webinars. I can rename it. I can go and I can put different themes on it. Just going to pick any theme there for now. You can see there's my master one that comes with PowerPoint, and I've now created my own one underneath. I can then go and change those slides or delete or add slides as I like to my master. I can click on, I just want to show you here if I've got, now I've picked one that doesn't have it. You can put placeholders onto your master as well. You can say whether you want titles and footers. You can change your colors and your fonts and everything. So set up your own templates that you can use so your slides are consistent. And that's the main thing when you set up things like this, is that you're consistent throughout. If you're going to use one font, it must be the same font on all your slides. If you're going to use bullets, it must be the same bullets. So by using the Slide Master, you can set up slides that are set up right from the beginning the way you want it. And if you want to make a change, you don't have to change each and every slide. You can just go to your master, change it on your master, and it will apply to all the slides. So please make a habit of getting used to using your master. Okay, for shapes, I want to go on to looking at shapes. Now, you can insert, sorry guys, you can insert shapes into your presentation. We know the common ones are blocks and that. If I say insert shapes, it will give me a whole list of the different shapes that I can use in my presentation or in my slides. Now, we always tend to think that what we get is only what we can use. You can get creative using shapes. If you have a look here, I've done some shapes over here. And what I want to do is, let me move my Humpty Dumpty to the top there. If you look at this shape here, if I want to insert a shape, I go to my shapes and I'm going to pick the circle. Now, if I just draw the circle as is, it kind of goes out of shape. I get an oval and I can try and I can get it right to be a circle, but it doesn't quite work. If when you're putting your shape in, if I say insert shape, and I pick my circle and I hold down my shift key, it will automatically keep the shape for me. So there you can see by holding my shift key down, I get a circle automatically. It doesn't make it into an oval or anything else. So very easy. Just select your shape you want, hold down your shift key and drag, and it'll keep it in shape for you. If you've got more than one shape on your slide and you want to make changes to that shape, please remember, if you want to make changes to more than one shape, you can drag around the two shapes you want to make the changes to. It will select both of them. And then you can go and make changes. Sorry, let me go to my ribbon. And I can say I want them orange. You'll see it'll apply to both of them. So instead of just clicking one and then going and doing the other one, by dragging around them, it will select them both. And I can go make whatever changes I like. Let's say we don't want a, I do want a full. Let's make it a nice blue color, but I don't want an outline, so I can take my outline off. Okay. Now, another nice thing with shapes that people don't often realize is I can take my shapes and I can make my own shape. So I can put this circle over that circle. I can select them both. And then if I go into my shape format, now remember the minute you put shapes in, you're going to get a new menu called shape format. Now, shape format means that on that particular ribbon, I can do all of those things on my shapes that I have down here. So I can insert shapes, I can do styles, I can do word art styles, I can do accessibility, I can do arrange, and I can do save. So I can do everything on my shape format to my shapes on my slide. Now, what I've done is I've selected them both, and there's this very nice little feature up here, okay, where it says edit shape, text box, and merge shapes. And if I click on merge shapes, there's things like union, combine, fragment, intersect, and subtract. Now, if I put it over, you can see union means I'm going to join it. If you look at my icon on the slide, it has now joined it. If I say combine, it's going to combine the two. If I say fragment, it's going to break it up. And I'll show you that one now. Intersect means it's going to pick up the intersection. Subtract means it's going to take one away. So now this shows you that it's so nice that you can actually go and you can make your own shapes. You can be creative and you can do very nice little shapes on your own. If I leave it at fragment, you'll see what it's done is it's broken my two shapes up into pieces. So now I can treat them as separate shapes. Okay, I can go and I can change the color here. Let's make it a nice purple in between, and I can keep those two. Now, if I wanted to move it, it would move that shape there. If I want to keep shapes together, I would highlight the shapes. I would drag around them, and I would go up to my shape format, and I would say group. By grouping it, it'll keep it as one, and I can also make it bigger and smaller, and it will keep it in shape as well. So that's a very nice little thing to know. This little section here, you just click on the shape, so I get my ribbon back. Your merge shapes is really, really cool to know. You can see there I've made a heart. I can put in a circle, so I'm going to say insert a shape. I'm going to pick my circle, and remember, if I want a perfect circle, I'm going to hold my shift key down, and I'm going to drag, and I get a good circle. I can say insert. I could have just gone back there, couldn't I? I can go and I can pick up my heart. I can hold my shift key down, so I keep my heart in a good shape. I can put it in the middle. I'm going to highlight, going to my merge shapes, and I'm going to say combine. And there you go. I have a heart within my circle. So this is a very nice feature. If you want to make your own shapes, you are able to do so. I know sometimes when I do presentations, I just want something a little bit different rather than the standard square or circle or triangle or whatever. So for me, it's easy to then quickly just go and play around until I get a shape that I like. What you can also do is, I'm just going to delete these two here. What's also nice is you can put in a shape. Let's pick up a little circle again. And if I go back to my shape format, you can see here at the top, here's an edit shape. You can change a shape, which means you can just take it, you can make it a square or whatever the case might be. But there's also another feature here called edit points. If I click on edit points, you'll see it gives my shape, 4 points. I can then drag those and I can make my own shape. Now, sometimes you want to just fill in somewhere. You've got a shape in and you just want to fill in the corners or whatever the case is. You can always just pick up these points and you can stretch them and change them how you like. So particularly if you're trying to draw a picture or something and you want to fit it in nicely somehow, you can see there I can just play around. With it, and I can change its shape. So also really nice. Oh, that looks like a little swallow flying. So you can see that even by picking up the points, you can then change it and you can make really nice shapes of your own for your presentations. Another nice thing with the merge and with shapes is something like this that you can do. And it is so easy to do something like this. I'm going to make an extra slide here just so that I can show you. Choose a blank slide. Okay. If I put in a square, okay, I'm then going to, over that square, I'm going to insert a text box. And let's say Cape Town. Make it a nice big font. Sorry, let me just put that over there. And what I'm going to use is for something like this, you want to use a font that's going to give you a nice size letter. So Arial Black is always nice because you can see it makes your letters nice, big, thick. Let's go, we can make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now to do this, I can select, now if I want to select more than 2 objects, 2 shapes, I can select my text, hold my control key down, and I can select the box. So you can see I've selected both, or I could have just selected it together by dragging across both of them, and you can see it's selected. I'm going to go into my shape format, and I'm going to say group, and then I'm going to say ungroup. I'm going to make sure they're still selected. I'm going to go to my merge shapes and I'm going to say subtract. Now, if you have a look at it, you can see that it has taken the black out and I have Cape Town in white. I can then go insert and I can say picture from this device. I can pick up a picture. I'll just take the sunset there. I can crop my picture so that it fits nicely over the slide there. That looks like that will work. Now it's in front of my Cape Town, so I want to send it to the back. So I go up here, I say send to back, and you can see now the background will show through the Cape Town because the Cape Town was clear. So you can see how quick and easy it is. If you know how to use all the different little things, it's very easy to make something that looks really different and really smart. Okay. Icons. Icons are also very nice. If you go to insert and you go to your icons, there's a nice range if you're looking for something different to put onto your presentation or just a nice little something to make your slide look a little bit nicer. If you go into icons, you can see as well, there are plenty of icons that you can use. There's some nice, if you go to the stickers, there's some very nice little stickers that you can use. You can get illustrations. Some very nice ones there. You can get cutout people. So if you want to put a real person in your slide, there's some nice doing some different poses. Or you can get cartoon people. And to add them to your slide, all you have to do is, let's go for a pretty sticker rather. I can just double click on the alarm clock and it'll give me the alarm clock, and then you can add it in. So icons are also very nice if you're just looking for something a little bit different to add into your slides. Hi, Mrs. Malangeni. I'm using PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay. Right. If I go into aligning grouping, this is also something that I found a lot of people don't really know is there, especially when you don't use PowerPoint that often. And you go in and you have to do something really quickly. And you put in your little blocks and you go and you put them in. And then you want to align them nicely over the page. And you're sitting trying to get those little arrows so that it shows. If you have a look there, you can see it's giving me little arrows to show me that how far apart they are from each other. And you sit there and then you decide, hold on, that one's looking a little bit higher than the other. A really nice way to do this is if you've done your blocks, you've put your blocks down, and now you want to even them out nicely. You take the first one, you put it where you want it, and you take the last one and you put it where you want it, okay, against the margin of your slide. You can then highlight them all by dragging your cursor over them. Remember, it's going to select all of them. And then if you go to shape format, there's this little button up here that says align. And if I say align top, it will align them to the top. And if I say horizontally, it will align them horizontally. And there you can see they are perfectly in line. So that's also a nice little trick to know about or to remember when you're trying to line things up. You can see that if I go into it, go shape format, I can align left, I can align center, right, top, middle, bottom. I can distribute horizontally or vertically. So even if I wanted to do it this way around, say I want them all down here. I want my last one to be there. I want my first one to be there. I select them all by dragging over them. I go to align. I can say align to the left. It will align them to the left. I can say vertically, and it will align them automatically for you. So that is something really nice to know as well. I know I use it quite a bit. It's so much easier that I can just put my blocks there and then highlight them and say, line them up for me. Much easier. You've also got, if you want to, you can put on your grid lines so that you can align them to your grid lines so that you can keep them in shape as well. But I still think using the align feature is a lot easier than using grid lines. But there are times when grid lines might come in handy. We've also got guides that you can use. Okay, we can set your guides at a certain place. Let's just take the grid lines off and you can see, you can use your guides to see where you want to put your text or your pictures, your graphics, whatever the case might be. So lining and grouping, really nice. Grouping is also super. If you've set up something and it's exactly the way you want it. So say these four little squares here that we have, if I want to keep those together all the time, I can simply highlight them by dragging across them. You can see it's selected them all. I can go to shape format. I can say group, and that means that it will always keep those together. So especially when if you've taken real time to set out something nicely and you don't want to pull it apart by mistake while you're working, rather group it, because then you can pull it wherever and you know it's exactly the way that you want it. Okay, so grouping, very nice. If you don't want them grouped anymore, you would simply go group. You could say ungroup, and you can see then you can separate them as well. And also what's very nice is if you are doing something, what I often do is I want a picture to insert in something else that I'm doing, maybe in a manual or whatever the case might be. If I set up my graphics here and I particularly like them, I can group them. So I go shape format and I say group. I can then right click on it and I can say save as picture. And it will save it as a picture for me. And then I can pull it into other documents or whatever I'm using. I can also say copy. And when I say paste, there's a little icon here that is save as picture. And it's now a picture. It is no longer a PowerPoint graphic. So you can also convert your whatever you create in PowerPoint, you can create as a picture as well. You can save it as a picture and you can use it in other documents. So that's also a really nice feature there. Okay, Smart Art is nice to use. It just limits you sometimes in what you can do. To use Smart Art, you can say insert. There's something called Smart Art. And it'll ask you, what is it that you want to do? Is it a list you're doing? Is it a process? Is it a cycle? Let's say a cycle. I can pick up one. And what it'll do is it'll automatically put that in for me. So I don't have to go and draw it and put my own colors in. It'll automatically set it up for me. So I would put in my Smart Art and I could say topic 1. Can see it automatically adjusts topic 2, topic 3, and so on. I also have the ability then, remember when you put in something, it will always give you its own ribbon. So there's my ribbon for Smart Art. I can go and change the colors and make it blue, or I can go and change the text there or whatever. So it just allows you to do things a lot quicker other than you having to draw the squares around. As I said, to me, it limits you a little bit. I like to sometimes get a bit fancy, so I'd rather put in my own. But if you're doing something quickly and you need a good design, then Smart Art would be the way to go. If I have a look here, there's so many more that I can do. There's a pie chart, there's a circle one, there's that one, there's a nice little one with little gears and what's that. The other reason I don't always like to use something like this, unless I really need to and I'm in a hurry and I haven't got time to put things together, is that people who use Smart Art, so the minute they see it on your slide, they say, oh, I know where you got that from Smart Art. So for me, it's always nice to rather create my own, because then it's unique and it's different, and it's something that people haven't seen already. Okay. Okay, design suggestions, also very nice. If you have slides, if you also rushed for time, but you want to have something that really looks good, then create your slides, but then go and use design suggestions to actually put your slides together for you from a graphic point of view. So what I've done here is I've typed one slide, and if I click on it and I go to my design suggestions here on my home ribbon, you'll see it comes up with suggestions of how I could lay out my slide with different designs. So I can go through and I can pick it up and I can say, oh, that looks nice. That looks nice. There's a very nice one there. And you can see it automatically then makes my slide look really good. It puts some color in it. Sometimes the pictures don't always agree with what the topic is on the slide. So you must just be very careful for that. But it even does things like little flows that you can use. There's a very pretty one. Okay, now that's also a super quick way. You can take 10 slides, just type out what you want on the slide, and the design suggestion uses AI, reads what's on your slide, and then gives you something that it thinks would look good on that particular slide. So using the design suggestions up here is really a great idea, and they give you plenty. You can even ask for more, and they'll go around, go back, and they'll look for more. Or you close it, and you just go back in again. I find this very nice for if you need a cover page for your presentation. So if you do it on the master sheet and you type in the title, it comes up with some of the really, really nice pictures for your main slide to start your presentation with. So using the design feature here, really, really super and a good idea. Okay, another thing that's really nice with PowerPoint is that if you have set up a whole PowerPoint presentation already, and you're doing another one and you think, you know what, I did these slides in another presentation. Let me go and open that one, copy, paste, or whatever. You don't need to do that. If I go to new slide on my home ribbon, you'll see it right at the bottom here, it says reuse slides. If I click on reuse slides, okay, it's picking up the last one that I was there, but you could browse, you could find the one that you wanted. You can browse. Let's just go down to Microsoft. And I say, I want that one. And I say, open. It'll open it up because it's the one that's there already. Let's see what it does. It's going to open up the slide, but it opens it up on the side here. And I say, okay, fine. I want slide number 5. Now you'll see when I click on 5, if you look on here, it's automatically inserted it into the place where I was, into the slide where I was sitting on. So I can add in as many slides there, if you can see as I go along, into this presentation as I want from another slide pack. So it saves you from copying and pasting, opening, copying, pasting across. That takes time. You want to be able to do it quickly. So please remember, under new slide on your home ribbon, there's something called reuse slides, and you can pull the slides in quickly, and you can pull in just the ones you want. You don't have to pull in all of them. So that's also a really nice feature in PowerPoint. Saves you time. Right. Animations, we all love animations, don't we? Things flicking up and down our screens for us. Animations are the what we want, our shapes that we put in right? Text boxes to do. So if you have a look here, I've got 4 little circles. If I click on one of those circles, my animation highlights. I can go in there and it gives you different animations. It can give you for entrance, it gives you for emphasis, it gives you for exit. It gives you motion paths. And if you have a look here, it even gives you more. So I can click on more entrance and it'll give me additional ways of what I can do. What's nice as well is if you hold your cursor over there or you click on them from here, it will show you all the different start animations before you actually apply it. So you can see if you want to use that one or not. So you can go through them, which is a lot of fun. You can sit for the whole day playing around and making your little icons swivel and fade and become pictures and fly around the screen or whatever. But there's a load of options there. If I have put animations on, you can see here I have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. What's very nice is you've got what we call the animation pane. And the animation pane will show you that the corresponding one is an oval and it must appear on click, on entrance, and what it is. I go to 2, it tells me what it is. 3 tells me what it is. 4 tells me what it is. If I want to change it, I want 4 to be 1. I could simply always doesn't work when you want it to, hey? I don't want to remove it. I want to, yeah, let's move 1 down to there. Can you see it's now moved? Now, if you have a look at the corresponding numbers now, it's 4, 1, 2, 3. So when I play it, it will start with 2, 3, 4. See, goes 2, 3, 4, and then 1. So you can change the order in which it appears by opening up the animation pane. The animation pane also gives you options like, do you want to start on click? Do you want to start with the previous animation? Do you want to start after? You can have effect options where you can have sounds come up with it. An arrow, a bomb, a breeze, camera. I don't know if we can hear that. It was very softly. But you can add settings onto that, how long it must run for, the timing, and things like that. So that's very nice. Using the animation pane helps a lot, especially if you've got a lot of shapes on your page and you want to reorder them or put them in a different format. So that's a really nice, cool tip, is your animation pane. Okay, you also have, what's very nice is like you have the painter, the little paintbrush in Excel and Word and that, you also have an animation painter. So if I want that same animation to be, I can click animation painter and I can click it on 3 and it'll put the same one there. So another nice little feature when you're using the shapes, your animation painter. Okay, with points, if you've got text, what's nice as well is if you have text and you want to do an animation, please note that when you click on this particular one, I've got as a peer. So when you click on your animation, it will always show you what animation you have chosen up in the little ribbon here. It also has at the bottom effect options. And I can say, do you want it as one object? Do you want it to come on all at once? Do you want it to come by paragraph? If I have it paragraph, it'll come in. Just here. It should come. It's not doing it for us now. Options. I want it by paragraph. If I say preview, it should come up one by one. Let's just do that again. Okay, now let's try a paragraph. It's like Murphy's Law, ladies. Never works when you need it to. Then we just go back there again. Just remove the animation. Okay, by to remove the animation, I clicked on it and I said none. You can see the 1, 2, 3, and 4 is off now. If I say appear, it puts the ones back on. And if I say effect options, I want to say by paragraph. If I preview, it still doesn't. What it should do is come up line by line by line. It might do it when I actually put the a presentation on. But if I put a presentation on, I see it doesn't come up on your screens. I need to share that with you. So, but it does work. But remember, you got effect options there. If it is okay, I'm going to show you on the next slide. If it is a actual shape, it has different effect options. So you can see here on the text one, it says as one object all at once and by paragraph. If I go to a different animation, you can see my direction. I get direction here and sequence as well. So depending on what shape you got in, or if it's text, depends on what is going to come up as effect options. So when you put in a animation and it comes in from the left and you don't want it to come in from the left, you can go to effect options and you can say, I want it from the right, the top, or the bottom. I particularly like when I use animations, I like to make them a little bit different. So what I do is I put them in, my 2 squares in. I then put a square underneath with my text in it. And I like to, instead of having a slide where you've got a heading and then you've got a whole lot of text saying what it's about, I like to rather put a heading and then put information underneath it. But before, let me just show you the preview here. What it does it comes in as topic, and then it comes up as finance report under it, employee wellness, corporate affairs, human resources. So when you go onto your slide, you actually have just the topics. Okay, so if we have a look here, and you just... Okay, so I can say insert a shape. Can have a shape. If I want to copy a shape, I hold my control key down and I just drag on it. Okay, and I can have topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. So that's what would be appear on my slide. Now, if I wanted to fill in something underneath it, I would rather put another shape in. Let's just make that a different color. Not the best color up, but yeah. And I'd say point 1, point 2, point 3. Okay. I want my text to be at the top. I can maybe make my box a little bit smaller. Now, for presentation purposes, it'll come up with just topic 1. So I'm going to hide this one in the meantime. And when on click, it must come down. I'm going to go to animations. And there's a really nice animation. If you go to more entrance effects, called peek in. And I can click peek in. Okay. And what I want to do is I want it to come out from topic 1. So it looks like there's topic 1 and then the information comes down from it. I can click on then I can say effect options. I want it from the top. So that is how it will come in. So if I preview it, it'll come in from the top. It goes a bit fast. So I can change the duration. Let's just make it a bit slower. If I preview, it comes in slower. So when you're doing the presentation, you've got like your bullet points at the top, and then you can have the text coming down underneath. You can make it to change color. You can sometimes just make it a plain. If I just make it just make my font black, I can go to my shape. I can take the color out and I can put an outline of dashes. If I go to shape format, look at me now. Animations, and I say preview. It looks like it's coming down from that. So that's much nicer as well, because then when people look at your slide, they see the headings. They don't read information before you've actually got a chance to speak about it or talk about it. So that's very nice. The peek in is such a nice one. And you can use it in various different ways as well. I have it here coming out from topic 1. If I play that one, you'll see that one comes down. This one comes up because it's peeking to the top. And that one goes down. So you can see how creative you can get. Yeah, I've made like a little folder. And what I've done is I've taken a rectangle and I've taken a circle and I've used my merge. Sorry, I just have to move. I have a cat who loves to sit on the table when I do webinars. Insert a shape. I can make a rectangle. I can say insert a circle. I'm going to hold my shift down so that I get a nice circle. Can put it over the top. Can select that one. I can merge. I can say, got it the wrong way around. I must click that one and I want to take away that one. And there I have my little folder. And then I simply put a square behind it. To make that one a different color. Because it's in front of the other one, I go to my arrange and I say send to back. And there you go, I have it. I have a little yellow piece of paper in a folder. And then using an animation, I can then get that out of the folder. So I can either use a peekaboo, or what I've done here is I've used a motion. If I click on this one, go animations, and I say preview, this one actually moves it out and around. And that is using an animation at the bottom here called a motion path. So you can set how you want it to come out. So you can have an arc, or you can have a turn, or you can have a shape, or you can have a loop. If I take this, this one here is the one that I want to change. Let's make it a loop. You'll see it does what it does there. A custom path means I can put it where I want it to be. Double click. And it'll go the line that I did. So you can see how creative you can get using your animations. Okay, I want to move on here because, as I say, time is not always on my side. Transitions are also very nice. A transition is how you want your screens to change. So when you move from one slide to the next, what effect do you want to have? I'm going to have a look up here. Under transitions, you can see all the different. You've got subtle, you've got exciting, you've got dynamic. And there's a lovely one here that says curtains. So every time you change slides, the curtains will draw and it will show the new slide. Or you can have drape, and you can see it just drapes, or you can have fracture. There's some really nice ones, but be very careful when you use transitions, because if you use them too many, people start thinking, oh, here comes another cracked screen. Oh, here comes another curtain. So only use a transition like that when you really want to draw people's attention, not when you're trying to make them bored and think, oh, here comes another animation. Oh, here comes another transition. You do them subtly throughout your presentation so that people look and think, hey, wow, that is cool. Okay. The one that I use that I'd particularly like to show you is called Morph. There's one here called Morph. Now, Morph takes a little bit of work, but it's worthwhile at the end. As I said to you earlier, what I like to do is take my bullet points and put them into shapes. So you can see here on the first slide, I have all my bullet points in shapes, and they grayed out right now. And there's a reason for that. So they grayed out so that when I put it on, people see, okay, there's something there. When I go to the next slide, adapting to change highlights. When I go to career advancement, the next one highlights. And it takes the previous one out and it adds a new one. So we're only concentrating on one bullet at a time. It's really, really nice way of doing it because it looks different. It doesn't crowd the slide, and people can see which topic you're talking on at that particular moment. While I'm clicking through them, it kind of looks very harsh, but in an actual presentation, the flow is so nice. It's like it just subtly moves from one to the other. I'm going to see if I can, maybe if I do this, no, it's not showing you the actual presentation screen. Let me just go to the want to share. I think it's just going to bring up the same screen again. Yeah, it's not showing the presentation. I'll work it out now. But it's like one appears and one disappears. So it's a very subtle change. It's not like a heavy change, which an animation would do for you if you used animations. I'll come back to that one and I'll show you what I'm meaning. Okay. And then I have at the end, I have just the full one on. Now another nice thing in PowerPoint. Okay, just a little bit of exciting stuff from the boring stuff like shapes and that. If you put videos in, videos are nice to have in your presentations, but sometimes you don't just want the plain video there. These are our Cape Town delegates from our last conference on their boat cruise. So what I want to do is I want to change the shape. I can go to video format and I can say video shape and I can change that into a heart. And as you can see, it'll still play the video. So it's in a shape. Now that's also something really nice and it's different. If you're doing board papers from board meetings or you're doing a presentation about something event the company has had and you've got videos, think of doing things like that where you can put them into shapes. Likewise with the video, you can also do things like insert pictures into shapes. If I have got a shape here, I can go into shape format. Okay, it's still bringing up my animation pane. Let me just close there. The shape format for honestly. I go format shape. So I right click and I go format shape. And I get my format shape box here. If I go to full, it says picture or texture. I can click on that. I can say insert from file. And I can go and I can pick a picture. And it'll put the picture into the shape for me. If you're doing it for, you perhaps want to put the MD or the CEO or whatever's face in that. If you're doing a business presentation, you can say from file. Let's take Tolo and we can insert Tolo into the block. So you don't have to put a shape and then try and fit it into the shape. You can automatically fill it into the shape as well, which is really, really super feature to use as well in PowerPoint. Okay, another nice feature that people not aware of, you just put a blank slide in here. There's something like our photo album. Say you've had an event, you've got a lot of photos and you want to make a photo album in PowerPoint that you can share with other people. You can click on photo album. I can say new photo album. It asks me for my pictures. I can go, let me pick up those ones. I can say insert. You'll see it shows me the pictures. I can preview the pictures as I go through them here. If I want to, I can move that one. Let's say we want to rather have it at the top. It'll move it to the top for me. So you can move them and depending on the order you want. You can go through them, put them in the order you want. I can then say, I want 4 pictures. Should we say, yeah, let's say 4 pictures to a slide. My frame shape will just keep as rectangle. I can put a theme on it. There are various themes that come with PowerPoint that you can use, but I'm going to leave that blank and I'm just going to say create. And what it does is it creates something for me. Now, the nice part is, as it's created the photo album for me, it's also gone into design suggestions and given me ideas for my slides. So instead of just having photo album by door, yes. Hello.
Your screen is blank. We can't see what you are doing.
no.
Nothing showing.
That's not nice. That's not very nice at all. And let me just, you see that's, okay, I'm going to stop sharing here for a second.
It basically
Let me
went
go
blank
back
when you
into
wanted to start
share.
your photo album.
Yeah, I'm going to go there. Let's see. Screen. Sorry about that, ladies. And gents, I'm not sure if we've got any gents today. It says share. Okay, you saw the part where I said insert photo album and I selected the pictures.
No, it went blank just before that part.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we can do that again. Let's see where, okay, it takes me there.
Oh,
All right. So I'm going to say insert photo album, new photo album. I'm going to select my pictures. Okay. And over here, you can see how I can move them up or down depending on where I want them to be. And I can check that I've got them in the order that I want them using there. I'm going to select that I want 4 pictures with a title. I'm going to leave it as rectangle, and the theme here, you can go select a theme. There are themes on PowerPoint that you can use. I'm going to leave it blank, and I'm going to say create, and let's hope it works this time. Yes, okay. So there it goes to the photo album. So what it's done is it's created a new presentation with the slides that I had, the pictures that I had in it, and automatically it's come up here with design suggestions on the side, which is really, really nice. So if I have a look at my first one, it says, do you want that for a cover? And I think that's really cool. So I'll use that for my cover. I'll click on my second slide and it'll come up with design suggestions, and I can pick one that I really like here. Let's pick this one. And I can say Cape Town 2025. And I can select that one. And let's take, I wanted something a little bit different to the previous one. Right, let's try that one. The white. I'm going to say boat cruise. Okay, so now I have a photo album, nicely set up. Very little effort from my side because the design suggestions picked up some really nice. I can change that one. Maybe we should change it to the same one as the previous one. Okay, and then my cover page. No, I like the previous one that we picked. Okay, so that is how quick and easy it is to take a group of photos, put it into a photo album that you can use in PowerPoint. Really, really nice feature. Has anybody ever used the photo album before? Did you know it was there?
no,
I didn't know it existed.
I didn't know.
But how
Not at
cool
all.
is it? It's really
It's
nice.
very
If you've
cool,
got a load of pictures and you want to display them nicely, and the fact that there's design suggestions makes it even nicer because you spend less time trying to think, how should I lay this out? Where should I put this or whatever? So it's a really, really nice feature, and it's been there forever in PowerPoint. It's a really, really nice feature. I particularly enjoy it, and especially for things like this, where you can put a group of pictures in, and I can take one trip and I can make some really nice slides using from the one trip. So I hope that was something exciting to see. All right, now very quickly, because I see as usual, my time is running out. I'd like to show you a really nice feature as well that very few people know about in PowerPoint. I use it quite often, and people always look at me and say, how did you do that? We need to know that because it makes you look so professional and really good at what you do, okay, which is what we want to do. There's a feature here, okay, called Zoom. Anybody used Zoom? Now, I've used my professional designation masterclass slides for one, because it's big and it's made up of different sections. Now, when you're working with a big PowerPoint presentation, it's always advisable to put them in sections. If I go to my slide sorter, you can see I have a summary section. I've got about OPSA. And if I go down, I've got more sections. There's an introductions. If I want to see how my slides are made up, I can right click on the section and I can say collapse all. And what it will do is it collapse it and it shows me all the sections that I have in my presentation. So I can immediately go to that section and I can work on it, or I can close it, or I can go to that section and I can close it. So using sections, especially when you've got doing a big presentation, is really, really nice because it helps you keep more organized and in control of your presentation, what your slides and that are. So using sections is really, really a good idea. So I've got quite a few sections there. I want to go back to my, so go to a show instead of, I want to go back to my slides. All right. So now I'm going to keep my, click on the first slide and I'm going to say zoom. Now you can see there's zooms. There's a summary zoom, a section zoom, or a slide zoom. Now, because I have a big presentation, I'm going to say I want section zoom because I know I've got a lot of sections in there. So if I say section zoom, okay, I can choose the sections you want to insert. Let's say to insert all of them. Oh, sorry, you know what I wanted to do? It wasn't section, I wanted a summary zoom. I want summary zoom. And I can say insert. Now what it's done is it's given me a slide right at the beginning. I can make this a bit bigger. Okay, of all my sections. So now when I'm in my presentation, let's have now my presentation. I'm going to say presentation. Now it doesn't share my screen with you again. Yes, let's just go from there. That's fine. Yeah, hopefully it'll work this time. If I go into presentation, technology. It was working fine just now. Okay, what it would do, I really want you to see what it would do. This one. Okay, just bear with me 1 second, yeah. Okay, now let me just go back one. Okay, now if you remember when I did the Zoom, it did the summary slide for me. Okay, now I'm going into my presentation. I'm on my first slide, which is my summary slide. Now, any section that I want to go to, I can go advanced communication. It will automatically take me to my advanced communication section. Okay, you can see how it goes along there. And then I can simply go back to that summary slide and I can go to my next section. And it would take me to my next section. So I can work around my sections using the Zoom, which is really, really fantastic. And what I wanted to show you was this was a big one where we have like the section view. But now if I had a presentation, say I'm sending my boss somewhere or I have to do a presentation and it's on the monthly report. And what I could do is, let me just get the screen back again. The screens are fighting with me today. I don't know what I'm doing, that it doesn't want to work with me. And now I've even lost my meeting. I want to share. Okay, if I'm doing, say, a presentation on a monthly report, okay, so I have my monthly report here. Now, I'm going to go through these items. I'm going to say, this is a finance report, membership, training, intervention, summary. Then I'm going to go, okay, let's talk on the finance report, and then I'm going to go find the slide for the finance report. Instead of doing that, what you can do is you can say insert, and you can go to zoom, and you can say slide zoom. And it says which slide you want to zoom to, and I will say in my finance report, and I will say insert. And then what it does is it gives me a little slide, which I make smaller, and I can put it next to finance report. I'm going to do the same for membership. I'm going to say zoom, slide zoom. I want my membership. Just make it a nice little icon next to membership. Zoom to training interventions. Put it next to there. And then say zoom, slide zoom to my summary. Make it a little icon and put it at the bottom there. Okay, now when I'm busy doing my presentation, it worked. Finally. So there's my presentation. There's my first screen. And I'm saying, this is my monthly report. Let's discuss a finance report. I can click on there. It will take me to the finance report screen. I can do whatever I need to do there. I can click back, and it takes me back to my initial slide. I can say, right, we finished finance report. Let's go to membership. I can click on membership. I can talk about membership. When I'm finished, I can go back. It will take me back to that main screen. I can then go to my training interventions, go back to my main screen, and then summary, and then go back to my main screen. Now, I know I had to do a presentation about a process that we follow. And for each process, there was a different form that had to be completed, or a different set of things that had to happen. So instead of saying, well, this happens, and then trying to get the slides up, I would simply zoom into it, bring it up, take it off, and then carry on with the list that I was talking about. And it just makes it so much easier, and you're more in control because you know where your slides are and where you're going to go to. So the Zoom feature is really, really nice as well. If you haven't used it, think about where you could use it, because it certainly is worth knowing about. So please remember the Zoom as well. All right, the valuable information that you can go back and use PowerPoint. Please go and try it. You can see you can make such fun things with it. You don't have to just do presentations and videos. You can do things like birthday cards. You can do things like posters. All you have to do is just go and change the slide size. Let me see, you've now got this here. Now, if you go home, if I go to design, there's something in design ribbon called slide size. You can say custom slide size, and you can make it whatever size you want, and then just print it out as a PDF. So it's not just for presentations. There's so much more that you can do with PowerPoint. So I hope you found some goodies in there. And as I say, I will definitely publish the video, and it will be on our YouTube as well. And I will definitely do the one to show you how to do a video as well, and send you the link. But thank you for joining me. I hope you'll join me for the next one, which is Microsoft Word, and I promise to try and keep within my hour. So have a good day, and see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn.
Bye.
You too.